that night, so he stayed at mine. I was like, bro, you're sleeping on the floor. I don't know you. You're not heads and tailing with me. He was like, oh, fine, yeah. And before I was about to go to sleep, I was asleep. I was like sleeping, nearly asleep, and I seen in the corner of my eye Ben stand up, yeah. And he was like, I can't stand up because my headphones are unplugged. He stood up and he was all like groggy and like moving weird. So I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, just watching him for a second. Bearing in mind, I've just met Ben. I don't know who the fuck he is really. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And next thing I know,
today we have another special guest on the podcast, Brighton-based artist and repping YogoCop Records, NuphZed. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine and dandy. I'm gravy. I'm good, man.
Wonderful, brother. Yeah, mate, you know, it's just, I can't really report on much. I've just been in my house. That's it. There's like nothing else to be said. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
You were just saying a minute ago, lockdown's kind of quite like the norm for you anyway, being like a creative type. So how's it kind of all going?
Yeah. Well, I say that, don't get me wrong, like I am a super sociable being as well. But I basically have no problem with staying inside and focusing on other stuff. Basically, it's like, you know, in Brighton, it's like when the sun's out, it's like, yo, who's coming beach? Or like, you know, it's like everyone's out and about. So not having anyone to be like, yo, what are you doing? Or not seeing my mates out and about, which is making me want to kind of, oh, shall I produce or shall I go out? I kind of like that because I'm just kind of me time, basically.
Yeah, man. I think that's healthy though, isn't it? Yeah, 100%, man. What I was saying a minute ago, like everyone's like in it together as well. So it's not as if like you're getting like fear of missing out and stuff.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's just like, oh, what's everyone doing? Oh, the same as I'm doing. Fuck all.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like when this all sort of first came about, everyone was a bit like, well, what the fuck do I do now? And then now everyone's in the mindset of, actually, this is the sort of shit that you sign up sort of like wish for. You kind of think to I'm not talking about you fucking wish for a virus, but you know, you kind of wish for that like time out of life. Do you know what I mean? Just to wind down, just take some time for yourself. And yes,
I'm not wishing this away, man. This like the work-life balance has never been better. Do you know what I mean? It's just like we'll never have this again in our lifetime.
Yeah. Hopefully not. Yeah. I think it's a good opportunity to make the most. Like, yeah, especially. You know, like, don't get me wrong, I can understand that some people, if they're kind of, you know, their hobby is sport or like something that, you know, if they, you know, involves a lot of kind of social interaction. But for a lot of people, I think there's a lot of stuff that everyone wants to do and puts off. And now it's just like, oh, well, fuck it, I've got to do it. Like, do you want to study? Do you want to learn a fucking instrument? Do you want to, you know what I mean? There's a silver lining. Do you know what I mean? Well, if that's possible, because there's obviously bad people dying and it's really sad, but you know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. Sorry, man.
I was just going to say, the effect on the actual music industry, if you think about it, because I bet loads of festivals have to be cancelled or pushed back. I know when, is it Love Saves the Day's been cancelled, I think. Yeah. And I think Boomtown, they're not too sure at the moment, are they?
I haven't heard anything.
No. That was Glastonbury, wasn't it?
Glastonbury's cancelled. I don't know. I don't even know.
That's big though, isn't it? That's like, I guess it's just so like, also like unprecedented. Like it's just can't really call it. You can't really comprehend it. It's not like a normal situation. So when they just say Glastonbury's off, you're just like, oh, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird one, man. But I guess it's like the music industry and like the independent music industry generally. It's good that you have, you know, the means to still create whilst being isolated. It's not like, you know, the film industry is really fucked at the moment. Do you know what I mean? That's what's really kind of on hold, like Hollywood, independent film. But like the creative community within like hip hop and music generally, they're still able to make music remotely and video content and all that kind of stuff, man. So like, is that something that you find's kind of helping you through this situation?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, it is good because it just means I've got time to really not have any bullshit excuses and to be like, you know, if I really want to do this, I've got to do something now. And so if you've got that music to finish, if I've got projects I need to mix or whatever, then that's cool. The only annoying thing is like, well, not the only thing, you know, obviously I'd like to be able to do gigs, especially like dropping a project. It'd be nice to be able to do like a little showcase or something like that. Also meeting up with friends to collaborate, because don't get me wrong, obviously online collaboration is super easy, but a lot of my mates, just like myself, can be a bit long, and like trying to pin someone down and be like, send me this, send me this, send me this, send me this. It's different to being like, yeah, come around mine, and you've got hours, and like you're in a room with someone and you know it's going to get done. Yeah. So that's a bit annoying. And music videos, do you know what I mean? I've got like another project that I kind of, basically it's being mixed now, because I'm being too lazy with it. I wanted someone else to mix it. And I kind of want to start planning videos and getting shit up and running for that. And I can't. I'm thinking, oh, can I do animation videos? Yeah, that's the option. Doing like organic, raw, fucking film myself music videos. Just do it. All that shit. But it would be cool. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's pros to being inside a lot. And yeah, except for I'm getting hella fat. I swear I'm just eating and not like, my girlfriend's really good. She does like yoga and exercise every day pretty much. And I did it for about a week. And I was like, yeah, I love it. Endorphins are sick, man. Yeah. And then I kind of just, like faded out, and I've had no motivation to exercise at all.
Everyone's been training for like a fucking marathon, I swear. Like as soon as like lockdown is in force, like people are just out on bikes running. I'm like, this never happens, man. Come on. But I did, to be fair, I did run a little bit when it first happened, and then I just kind of lost interest because I just remembered how much I hate running. Like it's just like, nah, it's not for me.
Yeah. And
like all the challenges were like popping up everywhere. They were like, do the 5-finger challenge and stuff.
Oh my
and I was
days,
just like,
man! Every other day there was a different.
I was like,
challenge.
fuck Virgin for a start, and then I was just like, and I don't like running, so no. And then somebody nominates me to drink. I'm like, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? But brings me onto a point, man. I think a congratulations in order, because I saw on your Instagram that you're 2 years sober now, right?
Yeah, correct, man. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's big, man.
Thank you, boys. Yeah, I appreciate that. Nice,
really rate that, man. So you were saying like exercise and stuff kind of, well, maybe lack thereof at the moment, but normally like endorphins would kind of kick in and get you through. Like what do you do now? Is it just kind of the music and stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of, I'm not like a gym head at all. I kind of go through phases of like a few months, so I get really into it. And I'm never like see massive, I see results, but nothing like, I'm not like a fucking tight top gym head, you know what I mean? And but every time I do exercise, I'm like, fuck, this is what I need to do. Like I love exercise. It helps me. I'm super hyperactive, so me able to just fucking do weights or running or whatever it might be, definitely helps me be a bit more calm. But again, like I go through phases. Generally speaking, if something's not good for me, I can get obsessed and addicted to it quite easily. That's kind of who I am, or a part of me. When anything's health, like, like cycling or gym, and, like people that have really, obsess over fitness and stuff, I'm like, that's kind of really good for you. I find it hard to get obsessed with the good shit.
Those people should never try recreational drugs. Do you know what I mean? If they're like addicted to something the shit is running.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Just keep the bags away from them. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So but album's dropping tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, 30th tomorrow.
Fickle Affection EP. So just for context, by the time this drops, it's probably already come out.
Yeah.
But it's in real time. It's dropping tomorrow. You sent the project over to us earlier today, man. Gave it a spin. Yeah, it's hard, man. I think it's like it's real. We'll go into it in more detail, but really, really rate what I heard, man.
Nice one. I just realised that I fucked up because I was supposed to send you the remixes as well, and I didn't do it. You've literally I've been working all day. That is my excuse. But that's my bad. I can send you the remixes and you guys can listen to them as well. But no, I'm glad you're feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because obviously,
really rating it, man.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I've had good feedback so far, which is nice because I don't know if everyone's like this. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are. But I can get so self-critical. You know what I mean? I end up hating my music, and sometimes that's the thing. Like I've got so much shit, like every fucking standard music head, like so much stuff on my laptop and my computer, and that when I play it to friends, they're like, yeah, this is sick, bro. I'm like, oh mate, you need to use this, or just like, yeah, that's dope, get it out. And I'm like, nah, I don't reckon, mate. And So it's nice to actually release something and be like, oh yeah, people do actually dig some of my stuff, even if it's like a tiny following. It's nice to know that your music can connect with other people. That's cool. So yeah, big up.
Man.
So, because that album, you said that was written about 3 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking long time ago, man.
And obviously, so you said you're obviously at quite a different point in your life than you were now. With putting out that album, did you feel the need at all to, not saying that they're bad songs, but did you feel the need necessary to rewrite any of the songs to more reflect your time now, or was it important for you to get it out to sort of reflect the time then?
I think it's a case of like, if you write, the thing is with like music for me anyway, it's like, one day I could write, even now, like I might write a tune one day that's more like soppy. The next tune I might be like in a mood to go out and be a bit rowdy, so I'll make a tune that reflects that. So even like in the current time space now, I can still write different types of music for the different mood I'm in. Mm-hmm. So I kind of look at it like, that was a mood I was in then, that was a time of my life. I'm not going to change that, because, do you know what I mean? And I'm also lazy sometimes, like I'm not going to rewrite a track. I'll be like, oh fuck it, on to the next one. So I'd rather just be like, yeah, that's that kind of project. Mm-hmm. I'll just do another one. And like you said, it kind of makes sense seeing a progression. I think it's, it makes a bit more sense having like, I guess.
When you say lazy, like I think, and hearing you speak now, it's kind of refreshing, because like you sound like your flow is very like effortless and like laid back, and it just like rides a beat really well. Like the track you did recently with Verbz on the Pathway is sweet. And it was like the remix on the Happiness project as well that Group Brazil just dropped. That your verse on that track was just like smooth, man. Do you know what I mean? There's a real, like, generally speaking, that whole like project was real kind of summer vibes anyway. And like Verbz is, he's kind of got that old school sound to him, isn't he?
He's unreal. He's big up Verbz, man. Love.
So you boys just you got that real good chemistry going on that track, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so. I really like that. I swear that's one of my favorite tracks. Like, not because of my bit, I just the Too Late production, like all his beats are mad, and and in Verbz, Verbz and Too Late are both like homies, and it was just it felt right. It was like, this is actually sick, and it's cool to do, because I don't know, I don't do a lot of like, I do boom bap stuff still, but like just naturally, I end up just doing different styles and different tempos, so it was quite nice.
Just do you, man. Do you know what I mean? Just being yourself, innit? Yeah.
But it was nice to do something recently that was just that smooth hip hop, that fucking I love that shit, bro. So
I think like there's kind of synergies between like the YogoCop sound and like, I mean, Aidan's a massive fan of like that YogoCop as a label generally anyway, but like the Group Brazil stuff and the kind of the offshoot, we were talking about kind of like labels and offshoots and all of this kind of stuff. So you've got your kind of your core labels in the UK, but it's nice to have all these kind of different styles and sounds and aesthetics coming from other labels. And I think Group Brazil have really like chimed in on this niche at the moment. Do you know what I mean? With that kind of real laid back vibe. And I think like there are definitely synergies between the two labels, like YogoCop and Group Brazil, in terms of sound and like the artists and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So how did that project come about? The Happiness one and stuff. Because I know obviously you were just on it as part of the remix that was recorded anyway. Yeah. But Pathways was released on Group Brazil, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So Pathways was on Group Brazil. And to be honest with you, I literally had no idea about the Happiness project. And I went on my WhatsApp, and I think Moriarty messaged me, and or him or Verbz. I know Verbz was like, "Yo, Kashmir's remixed our track, innit?" And I was like, "Oh, is it sick?" And then I was like, "Yeah, what?" Like, and then I think there was a WhatsApp group being like, "Yo, guys, we're dropping this and that." And I think I was a bit late to catch onto it, so I don't really know much about that project other than the kind of compilation. I think there's a few fresh tracks on there as well, like ones that haven't been released before. And I know that I think 10% of the profits were going towards I don't know what charity is. Maybe helping with. I don't know why I was thinking homeless support, but I think I might be getting muddled up. But I don't know much about the project, considering like I've got a track on it. It was kind of a case of Verbz being like, yeah, the track's been remixed. Cool, it's coming out. Oh shit, this is sick. Yeah, it's dope. And big up Group Brazil. They're sick, man. Everything they put out is dope. Yeah.
It's really well like considered, isn't it? Like the whole like the way everything's kind of packaged together. Do you know what I mean? Like the kind of the visual stuff that they supplement their releases with. It's just all looks and feels really kind of organic, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I agree, man.
So what's your story then in terms of how you got into kind of making music, and what music did you grow up with, man?
Well, basically, like, I mean, since a kid, I've always been mad into music, and I imagine it's from my dad and my brother-in-law and my sisters. Like, I'm the youngest brother of two sisters who are quite a bit older than me. Like, my youngest sister is 10 years older than me. So there was quite a big age gap. So I remember when I was a kid, even like really early, like year 2, year 3, maybe, like before going to school, because my sister, Emily, she was like kind of like a second mum in the way that, like, I feel like I spent a lot of time with her, and she would always be playing. I remember her playing like Jungle, like this Jungle is Massive, like mixtape CD, and So Solid Crew. And I remember being like, thinking I was like super sick because I was young, and going to school and being like, I remember I had tram lines and night shots, and I was going to school like kind of copying my sister and her friends.
2 multiplied by 10 plus 1, Romeo done.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking I was just like, yes, I love music and I'm cool. And I was like proper young. And then like, my dad's always been massively into music, all sorts of different stuff, from like, he showed me the Wu-Tang and Wycliffe Jean and Guru and like all the jazzmatazz stuff. But he's also into like, you know, a lot of like West Coast US rock, and yeah, he just likes all different types of music. And you know, I think I just listened to a lot of music from young, and my parents always having house parties, and I remember like coming downstairs and everyone's waved, and obviously I didn't really know that they were waved, and just thought everyone's having a good time, and they'd always try, someone would be fucked up and trying to get me to dance. And there's pictures of me, like I used to think I could break dance, and I really couldn't. I could just spin around a lot and be like this hyperactive kid. So I'd come down in my pajamas, they'd be having like a party, and I'd just be like, yeah, and they'd like form a circle, and I'd just be spinning on my back, thinking I was sick, and I wasn't. And yeah, I remember like every time they have a party, I'd get the volume on the amp, and I'd be like this, like rhythmically, like turning it up and down.
Yeah.
Thinking that, again, I'm fucking sick. This is and they all went along with it, and I think I loved it since then, really. And my brother-in-law, DJ Outbreak, he's like a mad DJ, Brighton based, and when I was growing up, he used to do a lot of like proper hip hop head when I was younger. Now he does a bit more other stuff as well, like dancehall and everything. But yeah, like watching him scratch and just the whole, I don't know, I kind of rated the culture a lot. I just think it was different to, I don't know, just everything about it. I was quite like obsessed with hip hop from a really young age, like Eminem, obviously like the kind of standard things like Eminem, Biggie, Tupac, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, all those kind of things. But then also like, I don't know if you guys ever played the game Def Jam.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's classic, man.
Yeah, oh my God, you need to play it. Def Jam Vendetta. I remember because I was super young. I was with my dad in town, and there was a game shop, and you know when they have the a console out so you can play it. Like, yeah, they had one of them, and I seen all these older kids playing this game, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I stood behind them, and I'm like, this looks sick. And then I realized that it was all rappers, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, Dad, please. And he was like, my dad was quite chilled with like the whole explicit stuff, and I was allowed to do a lot of stuff that a lot of my friends weren't. So I got the game, and I must have been in like, I don't know when the Vendetta game came out, but again, I'd used to study it. So like Keith Murray, I remember finding out about Keith Murray through a video game, being super young, and then being like, who's Keith Murray? Who's Eric Sermon?
That's mad.
Who's Flavor Flav?
Wow.
And like, I used to have this.
That's fucking mad.
I used to have this poster. You probably all seen it. You know the black and white one. They used to sell
HMV. Back in the door job. Yeah, man.
And I had like every hip hop poster I could get. Like I was on it, and I remember being like, my friends would come round. Friends who like I play football with. They're not necessarily music heads, or we were young. Like I'm talking year 2 probably, and being like, do you know who he is? No. Do you know who he is? No. And being like, okay, you don't know who any of these people are. And then I'd be like, that's Ice-T, that's Busta Rhymes, like going through
that's Nas, that's Ray Kim, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever play, it might have been, I think it was older than the Def Jam one, Wu-Tang Taste the Pain on the PS1?
I never played
that was a sick game, man.
I never played
it. Was just basically like a beat 'em up game with like the Wu-Tang Clan, and it just had like all of their tracks playing in the background, and that was it. Do you know what I mean? It was just like the rawest game.
Yeah.
I'll probably have like kind of more fond memory based on the nostalgia. If you played it now, it'd probably be well dated, but like at the time, it was like the best shit ever. Yeah. Just for that reason. Do you know what I mean? Like rappers, violence, just everything.
What every little boy wants.
Oh man, that's sick, man.
But it's funny because I was just thinking then, like that whole. Like, I don't know if you can see, but I've got like an Eminem's figurine. I've got 2 Biggie figurines. I've got a Big Boy from Outkast figurine. Like,
man, go get him, man. Go
like,
get him.
Yeah. Hold up, I can get geeky now.
Yeah, do it, man. Like Big Daddy Rap Beats collection. Still need to see that, man.
Just thinking about that.
Also, I just clocked that. I just like drank a really strong coffee and I'm fucking buzzing and getting so like, yeah, look at my toys.
That's what we want, man. That's what we want. That's the chainsaw and the hockey mask.
Yeah, and they released 3 of these, but one of them, I don't know if you can see on the back. So there's the chainsaw one. Then there's like, I don't know what you say that one is. And this one here, I don't know if you can see. There's a car boot with like a woman in the back of it.
Is that supposed to be Kim? Is it?
Yeah, and basically that got banned, so that never actually got released. And when I was young and I was in Bristol, and there's this comic shop, and this is actually one I bought on eBay because again I was young and I used to get these figurines, and I didn't understand that like people actually kept them in good condition. So I open the boxes. I have at my dad's house. I've got the Chuck D and Flavor Flav figurines, and I used to get them all, and I had some basketball player ones, and I'd get them all and just be like literally like Action Men, thinking, I loved it. And then I got what other ones, bro? This one,
Biggie, I can see from here, man.
This one's never been open either. I got that on eBay super cheap because I got another one that's at my dad's, which has been opened. This one's been opened, but I kind of put it back together a bit.
That's sick, man.
I love it, and I think that's that kind of. I don't know. That's still the young Zach who obsessed with hip hop. That's still that part of me. Do you know what I mean?
But there's something about like physical, like I don't know, like collectibles, and it's the same with wax. It's the same with anything you just want to have. Do you know what I mean? And it goes hand in hand with hip hop. Do you know what I mean? It's that like tangible kind of item that you can just like treasure and obsess over, man.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. And I think that's like you said, the same with vinyl, man. Like, you know, I don't even have the biggest vinyl collection, but I don't know what it is. It's like every month, I'm like on Discogs and I'm like, I'm going to cop 300 quid's worth of wax. I don't give a fuck. Then it comes down to it and I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to buy some trainers. Or it's like I always somehow, even though music's my favorite thing, I don't know why, but I always end up justifying buying pointless shit like clothes over records and stuff. But figurines, give me a statue of a rapper, I'm on it. Like I bought, there's this, I don't know how to pronounce it. There's this American dude who, have you seen the Ghostface Killer, the Raekwon, the Sean Price statues? I don't know if you've seen them.
Man. Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I just copped the Sean Price one, which is like I think it's like 13-inch, like big ass statue. That's on the way as well. So yeah, I love.
Have you got any Doom ones?
Nah, man. Do you know what? It's funny because I've never been someone who's like, you know how it is with music. There's so many artists, and you can appreciate them and respect them on different levels, but sometimes you just don't get around to listening to everyone and getting immensely into them. So Doom is one of them people. Like I don't know what it is. I've never got, a lot of people are like obsessed with Doom, and I just don't have that. I don't share that same obsession.
Yeah, man. I guess it's just like anything, isn't it? It was whatever resonates with you, and if it was familiar from back in the day, and if you never had that kind of way in, then it's the same with anything, isn't it? It's just like there's loads of rap that it's kind of like you feel like, oh, I should really like that, but I can't get into it because I don't have that kind of connection. Do you know what I mean? And you just have to be real and just be like, you know what? I'm open to it, but it's not really for me. No, I get that, man. He's an acquired taste anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's definitely like a rapper's rapper. But
fully, and that's why I find it weird because I don't know if it's people trying to be trendy, but them like, I don't know. I'm not being sexist, but them like trendy girls who, I don't know. You just feel like okay, and this is I feel like a dick now.
Say what, mate. Just say it.
I just find it. I find it interesting that someone like Doom, who's like a rapper's rapper, can be lots of people who don't really. I know people that don't really listen to hip hop. They're not like hip hop fans, but they love doom, and I'm like, that's like the last person I'd expect someone that doesn't like hip hop to like. I thought
it's more of a hipster thing, though, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Of like is it just a hipster thing? Like, yeah, like everyone, it's cool to love doom, even if you don't listen to doom or you don't actually. I don't know. I'm thinking of turning bitter. I don't know.
No, man. That's a fair point.
You mean, like, when you go into what's that? Is it Rise Records? What's that record shop? It's quite a big record shop now. There's one in Bristol. I think there's one in London as well.
Is it Rare Kind?
No.
Rare Kind's just a Brighton one.
That's like a little independent one. Anyway, I can't remember it, but every time I go in there, it's one in Bristol, and it's always got the doom records like right at the beginning, right at like the front of the shop. And I always feel like when you go in and you see like a record like right at the front of the shop, this just sounds like really like up my sort of stuff. But I don't know, you kind of just feel like that's like a hipstery sort of record. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the one that everyone's going to sort of go for, and it's a bit like, and the price just goes up, doesn't it? It just pushes it up. It's really important.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like I mean, I'm really like, I'm going to sound like I'm right in my ass now, but I was having a conversation on the last podcast about David Lynch, and I'm a big David Lynch fan when it comes to film, but I feel like he's kind of the go-to director for hipsters to say, I'm a fan of David Lynch without really like they just scratch the surface, and they haven't really kind of. It's the same with Doom, I'd say. It's an apt comparison.
It sounds cool to say, like you're like, I might be able to break into this social group by going, I actually really love Doom, dude, or like, like I don't know, that kind of thing. Yeah,
it's because he's like the biggest underground rapper.
Yeah,
so it's like you're cool for like an underground rapper, and Doom's like the go-to.
Yeah, there you go. I'm down with.
But on the other hand, like the flip side of the argument is that he is like really fucking sick. Like
like why
collectibles, man. It's my lunchbox.
Yeah, I said that's worth peas these days, isn't it?
Yeah, man. That's on Amazon for like so much money now. I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Better not go rusty.
Yeah, you need to. Have you ever actually like used it for food?
I should do though, but nah. It's got the CD in, man. It's like it was an album, like a limited edition album.
Yeah,
don't.
So it's got like trading cards and stuff in there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you get that's the collector's thing, isn't it? Really. But yeah, also I think it's important to say, like, because that talking like that makes me sound like I'm super judgmental, and I'm like, oh, like you only like Doom because of this. It's like I don't like getting into politics about anything, like particularly hip hop. I don't have whatever people like, you like it. Who gives a fuck if, whatever. You like it, you like it. That's it. I just want to say that because otherwise I feel like I can come across a bit like, you're like, I don't fuck all that shit. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's cool. That's cool. No, I hear what you're saying, man. I definitely hear what you're saying. But Doom.
It's always good to kind of. It's always good to kind of like have a good judge from now and again, isn't it? Just like,
we all do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man, it's guilty pleasure, isn't it? But how did you obviously so you got into music through breakdancing, shall we say, by dancing in your pajamas in the living room, and then like getting into your DJing by turning the volume up and down. So like, introduction to hip hop was essentially breaking.
Well, I wouldn't say.
When did you first? I'm joking, man. But like, but how did you first like get into? How did you first get into kind of like penning bars and performing and rapping and like recording music?
Yeah. How did it? I don't know. I remember. Well, I remember there was a game again, but like it was almost like a SingStar, but it was it was super like unknown. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like a big game producer, but there was this thing, it comes with a mic and you a CD, and you basically have like, it's like a karaoke, but only for like rap tunes and hip hop stuff. And I was really young, and I remember copping this or getting it for Christmas or something and being like constantly like, if it's something like California Love, and just spitting and being like, I'm really good at copying these people's lyrics, and I really enjoyed and got into it. And I remember once being really embarrassed because I was doing my thing, like rapping along to the TV, and then I noticed that my granddad, my dad, and my grandma were at the door. It might have been Christmas time or something, and they're chuckling, And I got super embarrassed and was like, no, fuck you, like close the door. And I don't know if that's what triggered me to like actually write my own, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think I was about 14 or something. Yeah. I wrote some bars, and I swear to God, the first bars I ever wrote, the first person I spat them to is my mum. She was next door, like chilling in bed. And I just went next door with a little iPod speaker, like a dock, and put on a beat and was like, Mum, don't judge me, but I'm just going to rap a little bit. And like, and I swear to God, I just spat past my mum. She's like, yeah, that's cool, that's good. I was like, yeah, I'm sick. And I don't know, I think that's the first time I wrote bars, and I think I went to youth club. Again,
did you try to sell your mum a mixtape as well?
Buy my CD.
Not then, but I have now. You know what I mean, no freebies for you, motherfucker. But yeah, and I remember like again, my mum picking out an advert in a newspaper, being like a youth club, like music production or something, and going down there, and then with my mate who also did music and rapped and that, and yeah, learning a bit about beats and production, but also like there was a lot of kids there, a lot of grime kids, a lot of people spitting grime, but there was also some hip hop, like older heads who were like the teachers or whatever you call them, not support workers, but you know what I mean. And a lot of them were hip hop heads, and I remember them teaching me about like Helter Skelter and stuff, and then I started to go a bit more into like YogoCop Records, and I think that,
yeah, man.
Then I was like, oh shit, yeah, like
rock and rock, man. They're just like nothing else.
I think Helter Skelter are my favorite hip hop like group or duo ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's hard to, I mean, obviously like Sean P, R.I.P., but I mean, they both complement each other so well, because you've got kind of like Sean Price is just so kind of like, you know, kind of, it's just a fucking G, isn't he? Grimy dude.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a grimy guy. Yeah. And then Rock's got that real like low baritone kind of like flowing cadence, and he just finds pockets so well. Do you know what I mean? It just flows and rides a beat so well.
Yeah, man, they got dope voices, and I think it's sick because like obviously with Sean Price, like I love the way he like not reinvented himself. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the wrong way to put it, but because like his flow and his whole kind of, you know, his style effectively, like when it was kind of with the Helter Skelter stuff and all the kind of boot camp clip lot, it was different. You know, like when he did this kind of solo thing with Sean Price, like many years later, it was like, this is a different version, and it was, I don't know.
He got well more, like much more kind of jokey and a bit more like self-deprecating and more kind of thuggish with it, like with the kind of Nocturnal, you know, like that record and stuff, and like the flow is very much kind of more kind of playful and kind of like jumps around a bit. It's old school, isn't it? And kind of, and Sean Price just kind of evolved into this like beast, man. Do you know what I mean? Like Onion Head and like boom bye, yeah, motherfucker. Just all of that stuff is just banging.
Yeah, man, sick.
But I think he probably had to do that. I guess to, you know, when you're kind of putting stuff out as a solo artist, it's kind of and evolving as well. Do you know what I mean? Because like they were like a duo, like Rock and Ruck. I mean, like that's a very 90s thing, isn't it? To have you know, kind of a rap duo, they're like Daz Effects and like all of those kind of guys. And you kind of think, you do need to kind of stand out on your own because you're too big a personality not to.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah, absolute legend, man.
So YogoCop Records, if I'm right, that started around early 2013.
Probably. I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
Okay, because you, along with like Benaddict, Concept of Thought, you were one of like the first artists on that channel. How did you get involved in that, and how did the label get started?
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I wasn't really friends with anybody. I didn't really know anybody when it first started. I think Benaddict, Illiterate, M Cozy, Cloud9, I think they created it. Like they formed it. I don't know, they probably correct me on that, but so I think they, like Cloud9 has released some stuff, obviously Concept of Thought, but I don't think they released it on YogoCop, that first album. And I don't know what happened, but I started going to like open mic nights, and I think I went to Slip Jam, and I met I must have been 18, and I met Benaddict because Mr. Slips I knew already, and I met up with Slips at Slip Jam. We got waved, and he introduced me to Ben, and basically back then me and Ben were big packet heads, and it was like I think it happened like this. The night ended. Ben knew that I had gear on me, and it was like, yo, let's just go back to mine, because I knew Ben rapped, and I never really listened to Ben. I had friends that listened to Ben, and I never really did. And I was like, yeah, let's just go back to mine. And standardly, like 18-year-olds, just sniffing gear, smoking weed, and rapping all night, and just ciphering.
Just an average Monday night, mate.
yeah, exactly, bro. And like doing that, and then with another mate of mine as well, and yeah, fucked up story. Like Ben, and he'll tell people this one. That night, so he stayed at mine. I was like, bro, you're sleeping on the floor. I don't know you. You're not heads and tailing with me. And he was like, oh, fine, yeah. And before I was about to go to sleep, I was asleep. I was like sleeping, nearly asleep, and I seen in the corner of my eye Ben stand up, yeah. And he was like, I can't stand up because my headphones are unplugged. He stood up and he was all like groggy and like moving weird. So I was like, what the fuck? And I was like just watching him for a second. Bearing in mind, I've just met Ben. I don't know who the fuck he is really. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And next thing I know, he's by my bed, like by my bedside table, like unzipping his pants. Or
and where's this going?
No. He's basically trying to piss, isn't it? And I was like, he's sleepwalking, and it turns out he's done this before in Berlin with all the Dreamstar. And he's like, yeah, he's just, I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro? And I wake him up and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he was like, and he was like, fuck, like, oh, fuck, I thought it was the toilet. And I was like, nah, toilet's over there. So, like, and that was the first time we met. And then from there on, he was like, yeah, you're dope. Let's do some shit. And I went to...
He felt obliged at that point to do that. He was like, I basically pissed on you, so the least I could do is work with you on some music, man.
He probably was like, this guy's fucking whack, but I do owe him. And I went to his a couple of weeks later or something, I can't remember, and we went to his house and he had some beats, which at the time I didn't realize, but he was just like, yo, have you got stuff for this? And I was someone that just, even though, I had friends that spat and shit, but no one really took it seriously. No one was really penning as much as I was. So I'd always be writing. And I didn't really have a lot of people who were like that. Like they rapped sometimes, but they weren't like people that wrote all the time. So they weren't really as into it. And then when I met Ben and stuff, he was like, yeah, here's some beats. Have you got anything? And I was like, bruv, I've got bars, man. Let's just record. So I recorded stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I recorded that night was then on Team Juice Volume 2. And I was like, yeah, sick. And then we got waved again. And then that's how me and Ben really met. And then that kind of led on to Slips and Ben introducing me to Illiterate and Author and all the YogoCop lot, really. Well, most of them. And then obviously people like Harvs, KLB, Vitz, Christy, all them lot. Then I met them afterwards, like maybe a year or two afterwards, when they all moved to Brighton as well, or when I met them in Brighton. And it kind of just formed really naturally. Like, yeah, it's really cool because we are all just gang. Like, even if YogoCop Records wasn't a thing, I'm pretty sure we'd all just be like hanging out, spitting and chilling and chatting shit anyway. So it's super natural how it all happened. Like, you've got all different people from all different areas who met in Brighton, got on like a house on fire, caused a lot of trouble, and recorded music, and it was like, this is sick. So that's how I met them lot. I can't even remember what you asked me. How did I meet?
Yeah. Speaking of which, man, like you mentioned like Compound, those boys. So you were on the Posse Cut track that was on Eagle Court, Hindenburg. Yeah, and you were in the and we hear there's a bit of a crazy story behind filming that video because we were recording the podcast in where is it, in Bristol?
We went to Bristol
with Lazy Eyes, and he lives with he lived with, I don't know whether he still does, of Dom This and That Media. Dom comes back the day after filming that video with you lot, saying that it was fucking madness.
Yeah, it was, especially for him, I think, because like for one, right, trying to get your mates together for like and all to be on time and all be ready to do something is generally, even with my mates anyway, can be a bit of a pain in the ass, let alone to get like groups of people from different, like, Slum Rock coming down from London, Dyke coming down from London, Flip It, just to get everyone together, Herb, myself, Compound, like kind of all different groups, I guess, in a way, to come together, all meet and film in one day. I'm surprised that we actually did it. Like everyone kind of turned up. And I know Dom was super stressed because it was like, we've got a few hours to film this. We need to film everybody's solo scenes. We need to film gang shots. So I think for him, it was like, I think for us, we just sat around chilling and waiting for our turn. Do you know what I mean? But him, he was putting the work in. And yeah, I think it must have been pretty stressful. And what happened was, it was all going quite smoothly. And like, we all did our solo shots and stuff. And there's like a lot of the gang shots, gang scenes, whatever you want to call it, inside like a abandoned office block. So above where we were filming in these studios, there's these like abandoned office blocks or office, whatever you want, offices. And there's also like not a commune, but people live, they're not squatting, but I don't know what you call it. I've forgotten the name, but they basically pay cheap rent and they live in like this kind of weird office area. And there's this floor, which is abandoned, and we're all up there. There's like 15 of us probably. And everyone's rowdy. They've all been drinking and getting on it or whatever. And there's like shit everywhere. There's like, I saw there was turntables, there was records, there were chairs, there was like random shit in this area. People just start chucking it around. Everyone's doing nos, and it's just like, especially the compound lot, they were probably waved. And I remember this woman coming. No, a few things happened. Like I think Hutch or someone chucked something at a wall, which turned out to be the other side was someone's flat. And like there was like basically people coming up to this floor like, you cannot be here, man. What the fuck? We live here, blah, blah. I don't know why they're American, but they were like, yeah, people were annoyed, do you know what I mean? And then standardly, when you got that amount of people and people been waving, instead of being like, yeah, no problem, I'm really sorry, let's just do this and go, it was like someone would be like, fuck off, you silly slag. And then it'd be like, oh, no. And then eventually, this girl was just having to go at us and really didn't like it. And to be fair, it's like, fuck them, because we're only there for half an hour. We were clearly doing something. We were quite polite about it. But, you know, they weren't happy because, yeah, they lived there basically. And, yeah, that was stressful. It was like, are we going to get this shot done? It's getting dark. People are coming up and complaining. And it all just got a bit, I don't think it was that mad. But like I said, I think for Don, maybe it was probably stressful trying to coordinate everybody and film it and get it done. And like, do you know what I mean? It must have been stressful. But that was a good fun day, man, for sure. That was sick.
Nice one, man.
Yeah, well, he's definitely a hard worker, isn't he? Because his music videos that he puts out, every single video, you always see the progression.
Yeah,
like,
he's
just
sick.
topping one after another.
Sick. Yeah, Dom is dope, man. And also, like, I remember hearing him spit time ago, and he's sick at spitting as well.
Is he?
Yeah, man.
Who told me that? Someone told me that. I can't remember.
I swear, like years ago, I think I seen the video of Dom spitting, and I was like, yeah, you're sick, bro. But like, he was mad. But I think I don't know, must have just preferred to do videos. I don't know, but yeah, big up Dom, man. Listen That Media, go check them out.
100%.
Because you dropped your video Fickle Affection recently, didn't you?
Yeah, that
Fidgety.
Yeah.
Fidgety, sorry.
No, Fickle Affection was one of the videos, and Fidgety, yeah, another one. That wasn't through Dom or anything. Yeah, that was through a guy called Noki, London-based dude. Super, he's safe as fuck, and Kevin as well. Kid from Brighton who's dope with the camera. They did the Fickle Affection video, and then Fidgety was just Sam, illiterate. He I think it was me, Harley, me, Vitamin G, Chemistry, and Sam just like met up and spent an hour or two. It was like a quick thing. But Sam, illiterate's dope with like photography and video stuff as well, and he managed to put something together quite quickly, which had looked all right. So yeah, that was those two. And there's one more to come, but yeah, don't know when
is that gonna like coincide with the drop of the EP?
Yeah, I think we're dropping it tomorrow. If that's what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be out by the time this is out. So like, either way, man.
Yeah.
So by the time you heard this, you would have seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what else are you kind of like? What else are you listening to at the moment, man? Do you find like inspiration from anything else?
Yeah, good question. The thing is, I don't know what it is. I tend to. This is like going to sound really arrogant, but it's just I tend to make more music than I listen to music, and especially with rap music or hip hop, anything with like vocalists, I find that sometimes I prefer to listen to like non-rap music to get inspired to spit. Like,
yeah.
But in terms of, a lot of different shit, to be honest. A lot of the time I listen to, people I know. I like to listen to like Illiterate sent me something yesterday, which was a project of him and Cut a Chase, and that was sick. There's like a feature on it with is it Kofi Stone, and there's a few people. But yeah, I listen to my homies a lot because I think that's quite motivational, because when it's people, your mates doing it, I think there's almost a level of like, you kind of want to keep putting stuff out almost together.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, Bluetooth as well. Like, I mean, just another homie, check him out, Bluetooth. He's a sick garage producer, DJ. Like, I love my kind of garage stuff. So yeah, all sorts of different music, like literally anything. But I was saying to someone else in another interview thing the other day that I've definitely fallen into the behavior, like the pattern of, when I was younger, it was all about, you get a CD or something and you study it. Like you literally listen from top to bottom and back and forth, and till you like fully understand the album in its like entirety. But now, even being someone that I'd say I'm a music head, I love listening to music, I definitely fall into the, Spotify playlists, or going to Discover Weekly and just running stuff and then being like, yeah, I like that, I'll save that, and I end up saving those of music to my Spotify account, and I never really listen to it properly. That's like quick digestion, like like, so I don't know. I can't even think.
I think that's where it comes back to like the physical media side of things. Like if you obviously hip hop and wax is kind of goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? It's like having belief in your own kind of ability, and like you want to, manifest it into a physical product to put out there because you have belief in what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a collector, and you'll understand this, there's nothing better, and there's no better way of digesting music than owning the physical media. Do you know what I mean? And just 100%. Like sitting there listening to it, because then you will. Do you know what I mean? If you buy a physical copy of wax, you're going to stick it on and listen to it.
Yeah, it has more value. Like, it feels more like 100%. So I don't even know what to say in terms of who, like, specific artists. Again, like people like Verbz and Earth Evil.
He's sick. Earth Evil is sick, man.
He's
dropped a couple of really good tracks over the past month or so. I remember seeing him spit on Fubar, I think, like it's probably like over a year ago now. Same episode he did with Verbz, but I was really impressed with it, man.
Yeah, he's dope, man. He's dope. And like, I don't know, I like listening to stuff like, obviously, like Frankie Shu and Harvey Gunn have got that really nice, like, kind of
they've got.
I don't know. It's just not. It's not like hip hop. It's just like nice. I don't know. I like dance music. I like electronic music. I like garage. I like, even kind of trip hoppy stuff. I like generally. I listen to a lot of different types of music, and I think I appreciate, like, I don't know, Frankie Shu and Harvey Gunn. I love what they've done, and in terms of the kind of, it's so, I don't know if the palatable is the word, but it's so accessible in the sense that it's like, it's chilled, but it's got like that upbeat vibe.
Yeah, man. It's probably like the wrong word, but like the emo kind of comes to mind a little bit. Just like, it's kind of like emotional vibe to it as well, like some of the lyrics and that as well. But
juxtaposed with like a dance beat, like
yeah.
And that's sick. I love that shit. So I like listening to, and also like the Manor. I don't know if you know the band.
Yeah, man. You went to see them, didn't you, Aidan? Or like they supported
They supported. Who was it they supported? Enter Shikari. I went to go see Enter Shikari in
no way.
Them. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Went to see them with my missus, and I didn't even know anything about them, but they came out, and it's literally they're just the typical sort of lads that you just think you find like in like Magaluf or something like that. And they just love it, man. They've got such a cool sound. They're really unique. They put something out recently on GRM Daily, actually.
Did they?
Yeah, it's a good track, actually.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Again, like I haven't studied them, and I haven't listened to the whole of their albums, or but when I hear something, I'm like, I rate that. And again, it's that thing of like, something comes in, like rather than go to the album and be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to their discography, I'm gonna check out their singles or whatever, and kind of really get into them. It's like, I'll save that, and that'll be Spotify will suggest it at some point, and I'll be like, cool. And it's a really annoying habit to get into, because
the modern age, man. It's the modern age, just instant.
Playlist, isn't it? Playlist YouTube recommends. That's what it is. That's my music is that. Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my god, boys, I'm about to piss myself in it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna piss.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Do this coffee and that. Give me 1 sec.
This could be the introduction. What's on the clock now, man?
About 50 minutes.
All right, cool.
To be fair, we can keep on going for a little bit longer. Like we're getting down to it, man. This is good. I'm enjoying this, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for like another, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever.
Yeah, man, works for me. I've got
keep it going. I mean,
I've got the charger on, so
I'm not exactly going out. I'm not going out tonight.
Yeah, exactly, man. You don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to Jake.
I have no idea, mate. He messaged.
I hope the wank was worth it. Man, I want that Biggie doll.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I was thinking about, who was it that has the doll of himself?
Oh, it's Big Daddy Rat Beast.
Big Daddy Rat Beast.
He got it made, didn't he? And I think, didn't specific as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got an action figure. That's amazing, man.
That's so. It feels like it's like really. It's sort of like a really vain thing to do. And
I rate it though, because it's like I kind of get it for like Big Daddy Rat Beast because it's like a character. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a big green ogre type thing. Yeah. So you can kind of justify why, but anyone else, I mean, if like you made an action figure of yourself, it would just look really fucking arrogant and vain, wouldn't it?
We were just saying that we've had 2 guests on the podcast, right, that have both had action figures made of themselves.
It's madness, isn't it?
Yeah, that's mad.
It's quite a vain thing, but you wouldn't turn it down, would you? If someone offered it,
of course not.
I'd be like, yeah, press up 100 of them.
Yeah.
I'd make myself like really tall and stacked as well.
Yeah.
It's like when you're when I was younger and I'm playing like Saints Row or something, or even Def Jam, and you're creating your character, and I'm like, I'm being the biggest, gnarliest fucking dense dude. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
but it's funny. It's quite vain. Yeah, fuck it. It's cool.
What you were saying before about like music and all of that kind of stuff, and listening to different things besides hip hop. Do you think that you've grown more of an appreciation for other genres of music because through hip hop? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously hip hop fundamentally is different music, you know, kind of derived from something else and made into something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you think that like being a hip hop artist has opened your mind to other music forms and stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I think I've always been into different music, you know, but I think, you know, like in terms of the, you know, like I feel like I can differentiate without being some like puristy guy. You know, there's like that hip hop sound or that kind of hip hop kind of more culture thing, and then there's like rapping and this, you know, that kind of skill set. And obviously, like listening to hip hop, you end up, if you know, some people love the beat, some people love the rapping, some people love both, and I think I love both. But I think that maybe made me a bit more open to like fucking with other MCs that they don't rap on hip hop, but you can appreciate their ability and their skill set.
Yeah, man.
And so I guess you could say that in that way, maybe. But to be honest with you, like I said, like growing up, it was all sorts of music I listened to, including like jungle and garage and like rock. Well, not really rock. Well, yeah, a little bit, but and like yeah. So I think it could have done, but I think I was quite open to it anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool and like refreshing to hear that you listen to, you know, your peers as well, like your mates' music, because like I think in a scene as small as like, you know, the UK kind of hip hop scene, it's nice that you kind of all kind of, you know, support each other and gas each other up and actually, you know, enjoy each other's music. Because there's one thing like supporting your mate's music, but there's actually, it's another thing entirely to genuinely sit down and think this is sick. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's a testament to what they're doing, what you're doing. I think that's a really cool thing, man. But we talked about this before on the podcast. You know, kind of the UK hip hop scene is relatively small in the grand scheme of music.
Yeah.
Would you like to see yourself, like, rather than pigeonholing yourself in UK hip hop, do you just see yourself as a hip hop artist or just as an independent, a rapper, or do you know what I mean? It's kind of where do you see yourself in the kind of
genre spectrum?
Yeah, in the spectrum.
I don't know, man. Like, part of me is like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's up to them, up to anyone else to decide that. Like, I'm not too, you know, like, part of me gets cringed out for some reason, and it's not I don't know why, but sometimes I think like it's not cringe. That's the wrong word. It's again because I make different types of music and I like spitting on different types of shit. I wouldn't even really say I'm not like a boom bap artist. Like like one of my mates, say Ben, yeah, he loves hip hop and he loves making hip hop and rapping over hip hop beats, and he's very good at like producing under Psalm Trees and he's super good at making hip hop beats and he's super good at like writing on hip hop beats, and he doesn't really like to really venture out as much to like Benaddict on a garage beat. He'd be like, fuck off, mate, I'm not doing that. Do you know what I mean? And I think, yeah, for me, it's like, I don't know. My new music to come is definitely got more other vibes to it. Like there's even some tracks where I kind of risked it a bit and been a bit more, not singy, but there's some more tonal stuff there. Okay, then there's some stuff which is a bit more, that kind of two-steppy thing again. So yeah, I don't know, whatever. I guess I'm just a fucking person that makes music. I don't really like to look into it too much. Like I'm a rapper, you should view me as a rapper, or I'm a producer MC, you got to view me like this. It's like I don't really know. Like at the end of the day, I can't. Yeah, people are gonna make up their mind of what you are anyway. So I think it's easier to be like focus on just because if I think I want to be this type of MC, then it kind of eradicates all the other creative stuff that I think of, which is outside of that box.
Yeah, it's too many parameters. You know what I mean? And you're setting yourself limits. Yeah, 100%, man.
But also, it's a bad thing in a set. Not a bad thing, but again, I do find it like I genuinely feel like I've got so many different types. I'm not just like a very like linear person in the terms of my personality. It's like I can kind of have different. Like I said earlier about the state of mind depends on what I write and shit, like standardly. So I think the problem can be like if I'm making music and if I've got 3 tracks that have got a 2-step vibe and they're kind of garagey, and then I've got one track which is a boom bap vibe, and then I've got another track which is like trip hoppy or like slow down alternative weird shit with lyrics on it, trying to be like, is this kind of not marketable? I guess so. Like, are people just going to be like, what the fuck? Like, who are you? Because you end up people being like, oh, I like NuphZed because of YogoCop and I'm used to hip hop. So then if you start dropping other stuff, you're like,
yeah, so I hear what you're saying.
It's a bit weird. Like I think some people that are really good at just one thing, they tend to do, that jack of all trades, master of none comes to mind. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So maybe I'm just too erratic and too impulsive and I make too much shit, but I'm never going to be like.
I hear that, man. But if you think about artists who have actually like gone on to, like succeed, like let's just use like Kanye as an example. Yeah. Look at his career trajectory from like the college dropout to now, like how he's evolved as an artist, how he's changed and started, and he's still been about, and he's still kind of made challenging music. It might not be to everyone's taste, do you know what I mean? But he's always done exactly what he's wanted to do, and as a result of that, he's like, he's got a real kind of, he's sustained his career. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like you can think what you want about the guy, but at least he stayed true to himself. And making the music he wants to make. You know what I mean?
I think authenticity goes a long way. Do you know what I mean? Like in whatever you do. Do you know what I mean? Like I think just being honest and being like, I think if trying to control, for me anyway, I find it like, because I don't do music because I'm desperate to become a fucking famous person. It's not really like obviously it comes a point where, you want to be heard, you like performing, you like people listening to your music, so there's certain things you've got to do to get yourself out there more, like social media, like the kind of marketing side of it. Do you know what I mean? That's just a given, if you want to continue to do music. But at the same time, I try not to take myself too seriously with it. And like, if I like it, I like it. And if they don't, then peak, but whatever. Like, I'm sure maybe the next track I do, that might be more tailored to someone else's taste. I don't know. I think being honest and being like authentic and unique, it's not even just be your fucking self and whatever.
I'm guessing as like a creative person, it's just the need to express yourself, and that's kind of, I'm guessing, like the key part of it for you. It's like getting yourself heard, but because you've got something to get off your chest, you want to be heard. It's nothing to do with the kind of byproduct of that is, you're going to get a fan base, you're going to get people streaming your music. That's all kind of a byproduct of, I guess, the kind of the core reason why you're doing it, which is to, like, get your message across.
Yeah, but again, it's a weird one because I feel like I'm always contradicting myself, because part of me is like, again, it goes down to that thing of like, I have so many different opinions and so many different things, including myself, that, you know, like, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of lost my trail of thought there. See, I talk too much. I'm super ADHD, and I can't remember.
That's cool, man. So it's Dreamalicious that came out around, I think it was about 3 years ago. And when you posted the other day about this new album coming out, you said you're looking to start working on you are working on new music currently. Are you looking to release a bit more often? Are you working on new stuff at the moment? What sort of stuff are you putting out? Or are you looking to put out?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to release stuff more often. You know, like 3 years in between the project is long as fuck, and it's that was kind of for other reasons. You know, I had to like look after myself and shit, and it all kind of worked out all right. But from now on, I definitely want to be more consistent. I've got enough music to be consistent. It's just about fucking doing it and putting it out. Like, I've got 12 tracks for a new project all done, and that's like very much different shit. Like I was saying, different kind of styles, similar to kind of Fickle Affection EP, but even more kind of experimenting with other stuff, and that stuff's there to come out. Again, I just got to get it mixed and do a couple videos and stuff. So I don't want to just wait like a year and put another album out. I think it's now about, for me, just putting more music out consistently, like dropping singles, you know, with a goal of releasing a project, but not being like, I don't want to wait and be like, here's my project time. It's like, look, there's music to put out, I'm going to put it out. So hopefully every month or two, I'm going to be releasing something new, and try and be consistent like that. I think it's a good way for me to be right now. So, and
is that going to be produced by yourself, or are you bringing other producers for
that? So for this project, the next project is all self-produced again. So I don't think there'll be any remixes on this one, because I like how it's different. It's got like it's all produced quite coherently, so I don't want to bring other producers in, because I think it can like mix it up a bit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Definitely. You want it to like, it's almost like thematic running through, having like each track to kind of flow together. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, we're bringing different producers on if it complements each other. But if you have like a vision, especially this is an EP, isn't it, as well? Yeah, so it's kind of like exactly like a smaller collection of tracks. So you just kind of want it to sound kind of consistent. And I guess as it's so kind of, long awaited, it's been so long since you've released music, it's important that it's kind of got your stamp on it. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like making a statement in that way.
Yeah, so you're not just putting music out for the sake of it, you're putting it because it's actually got something behind it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think, don't get me wrong, like I said it before to someone else, like I don't fancy myself as a sick producer. It's more like I like the control and the flexibility that it brings. You know what I mean? Like if I make a beat, I feel it, I write to it, then I edit the beat and I edit the rhymes, and you can kind of, whereas if someone sends me a beat, it's a bit harder to change shit around. And I don't know, I like that. I'm a control freak. You know,
I guess you can be more impulsive as well. Like if you're just making a beat and you can rap to it and you're like, oh, that's good, I'm just going to leave that. Rather than like if somebody sends it, in that elapsed time, you would have changed your mind about it. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. So, yeah, I hear you, man. No, I think that's good. I think it's kind of, I mean, whatever works for you ultimately, right? And if you're happy enough to put it out, you've sent it to us, it's sick. And I hope it does get the reception it deserves, man. And I hope there's more to come.
Yeah, man. Well, I think, I don't know. With this project, again, it's like part of me is like, I don't know, the remixes, which I haven't sent you guys, which is annoying. I'll send you them after this anyway. But that was a good way to kind of bring it a bit more to life, because it's such old project. Having remixes on it, it kind of was like, okay, that's a new stuff now. But yeah, I think the next project's just going to be solo stuff. I don't think there's any features. But again, man. I think talking about the styles and stuff of like different, how some people make different types of music under the same artist name. I think if the production's coherent, you can switch up the style a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like
100%.
If you've got a garage tune, a hip hop tune, and a fucking whatever.
Gabba beat.
Gabba tune. But they're all made by the same person. There's going to still have that, similarity. So I think that's another perk of doing my own shit. But again, I think in the future, I definitely want to work with other producers, and 100%. And also my mates, like saying to Illiterate, like, you know, he's one of my like best mates, and I don't even like have a stack of beats of his for me to write on. And it's like he'll send me a project that he's made for someone else, and I'm like, bruv, why haven't I got any beats from you? And it's the same with everyone. It's like I'm always like, oh, I need more producers to work with when I've got like, you know, Benaddict, and I've got Illiterate, and I've got One Drop, and lots of people, talented people around me, and for some reason it's just like, I don't know. It's something about
Such is life, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure that you boys will, you know, you'll collaborate again, and that will happen in the future. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind 100%. Of exactly, man. What else have you been doing, like in lockdown besides? You've been like watching? Are you into movies and that?
Yeah, I am actually. I love horrors and thrillers, man.
Yes, boy. Oh, okay, yes, mate. Okay. Come on.
But yeah, I am into that. Like, that's my shit. I mean, I'm not someone that can watch films all day. You know what I mean? Even if I was on furlough or unemployed, I think I'd struggle to sit down and watch films all day. And I know some people can do that, or like binge watch a series all day. I can't do that. I'm too hyperactive, and I get too self-critical. You know, I'm like, I need to do this. But, you know, when it comes to evening time and I'm tired and I've done my shit and I'm like, I've got no creative energy left, and, you know, I just want to chill out with my girl, then watching a horror is the fucking shit.
All right, man. What's your favorite horror if you had to pick one, or like give us a few? Because that's I love
the Witch.
Yeah, man.
The Witch.
What's his name? His last name's Eggers. I can't remember the name of the director, but his first name's Robert Eggers, I think his name.
To be honest,
he's directed a film called The Lighthouse as well.
The Lighthouse as well. That's a sick film.
Yeah, man. That's fucking mad, isn't it? Weird,
though. I like shit that makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, even if it doesn't have to be scary, but if it makes you feel like something's not right, like it's conflicting. Midsummer.
Midsummer was good, man.
That I love, because again, it's that the whole film is in daylight pretty much, and there's all this like conflicting, like the scenes where you're like, is this funny? Is it sad? Is it fucking terrifying? Is it like filled joy and flowers and blonde women in a field, or is there like some sinister fucking dark shit? And that unease and discomfort is the one.
Because it was so like obviously it was just a kind of a, you know, almost like a soft remake of The Wicker Man. Like, you always knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it was still really unnerving. Do you know what I mean? And there's all kinds of like YouTube videos and stuff out there about some of like the subliminal messages and things you miss in that film. Like, did you see like there's like a wide shot and you see in the trees there's like a woman's like face, because, you know, obviously they're just like spoilers, guys, but they're all off their tits on like LSD the entire time, or whatever it is
shrooms
they're taking.
Shrooms,
that's it. Yeah, like hallucinogenics. So like, you don't know what the hell's, you're obviously kind of thrown into that as well. And some of the things that you see, you're just like, what the fuck is happening right now? Yeah, man. That director like conveys like dread really, really effectively.
That's it.
Because he did Hereditary as well, man.
And Hereditary is a big. I don't get people that don't like that film. Like, I swear, like, I've got people that are like, that is just shit film.
Nah, that's amazing.
I can't. You know, there's certain films where you might not like it, but you like music. You still appreciate it, even though it's not your thing. So when someone says Hereditary is a shit film, I'm like, I don't know what you're on about, bruv. You're deluded.
But it's like anything, man. You like IMDb. You go on there and you look at people rating films and stuff. There's nothing worse than someone who's like, fair enough if you love something, but you know, some people are just like, right, this is fucking amazing, or this is fucking shit.
Yeah.
No one's like, there's no nuance to any reviews anymore. Like, I can't stand it when people are like, this is the worst film ever. It's like, is it really though?
Is it really?
Is it really the worst fucking film ever? Yeah. But, you know, man,
liars. Pure filthy liars.
Have you watched that Gangs of London yet? That's on.
Nah.
Oh, man, get on it, man.
Still need to.
It's the director of The Raid. You know, like, have you seen The Raid before? You know, that Indonesian film. It's
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was talking to Aidan about it. You boys need to see that film, man. It's like The Raid. It was made like about, I think, 2011 or something. It's like a tower block in Indonesia, and it's like Gareth Evans, the director. He's like well into like martial arts, so all the fight sequences are like really well choreographed. But it's Gangs of London. It's by like, I think he directed a few episodes, so it's basically like Harry Brown crossed with The Raid. It's like London gangsters like fighting, mate. It's just fucking high octane action. It's fucking insane.
Have you watched
ultra violent?
Have you watched Afterlife yet? The second series.
Yeah, man, I finished that.
Is it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
I watched the first series, man. That was good. I still haven't watched the second one, though. I need to.
What is it? I don't think I've seen this.
Tom, you've explained it. You're much better explaining this. It's Ricky Gervais in it.
Ricky Gervais, man. It's like
Oh yeah, I haven't watched it, but I know what you're on about now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, man. It's kind of like nice little like palate cleanser from ultra violent fucking horror films. You know what I mean? But no, it's really funny, man. It's a tight script.
I don't fuck with Ricky Gervais. I like some of the shit he says. Like, I don't like his acting, or in fact, I don't even like his comedy. But sometimes I like him when he's not doing either. Or maybe you could say it's comedy. Like,
I hear you, man.
Like, I don't know, but that's just me.
Ricky Gervais. I hear that. Ricky Gervais is very Marmite, isn't he? Like,
I fucking love him personally.
Derek, do you like? Is it called Derek?
Derek, yeah.
I couldn't stand that program, man. I could not stand it. But then I really liked the UK Office. Like the UK Office, I thought that was great.
I was like, I think I was like 15 when The Office came out, like the UK one. So I remember when it was first on like BBC Two, and I was just like, it was just fucking incredible. It's like nothing else like it. Do you know what I mean?
I've never given it a chance.
UK Office and Extras are like next level, man. Have you seen Extras before?
No.
Yeah.
You should watch Extras, man, because it's basically like he just plays like an everyman. He's like an extra in like films and stuff, and like you've got like celebrities playing like real like warped versions of themselves. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they're real like egotistical and arrogant, and he has really like awkward conversations with them. But one of the best episodes with like Vinnie Jones and what's the guy? What's Phil Mitchell? What the fuck's his? Not Phil Mitchell. Grant Mitchell. I can't remember his name. Yeah, Ross Kemp. That's it.
Ross Kemp.
Yeah. And Vinnie Jones just like kicks off at him. It's so funny, man. Honestly, that shit.
Okay, maybe I need to give that a watch.
Classic.
I love. I don't know if people even rate this, but a few of my mates do. Did you ever watch Phone Shop?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that shit's hilarious.
I haven't seen that in ages. Fuck.
Yeah, I love that.
That's good, man.
That's really got the guy from The In-Betweeners in. You know, Simon's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man, that's funny actually. I forgot about that.
You can watch that shit time and time again. I swear. Like, yeah, when I used to blaze, man, me and my friend Javan, we used to. I can't remember what scene it is, but I'm not gonna act it out for you. But it's a scene. It's the one where like the manager does like he joins some like white man's reggae club, and he starts. And there's a bit when he's like, oh man, I used to rewind it, like, you know, them times you just replay a clip over and over again, and you crease. It's that kind of shit for me anyway. I don't know.
For me, that's like Peep Show is my thing, man.
Yeah, Peep Show's sick.
Peep Show you could just watch all the time, like
timeless, man.
Yeah, like when
timeless.
You're drinking or whatever or blazing, like, and it's just so like crease out with your mates, isn't it?
So many quotables, man. Like, honestly, just like every single character in that is just memorable in one way or another. Like Johnson is fucking hilarious. Like, obviously, I met Superhands. He did like a little gig in Bournemouth because he did a tour. Obviously, like playing.
He's a DJ, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Wait, what was he DJing?
Yeah, he was like singing, and he was like on the maracas and DJing and stuff. And you had this guy in a sombrero just like banging a tambourine. It was real random.
Well, like in character.
In character, yeah. So he wasn't like Matt King. He was as Superhands. And like afterwards, my wife, we weren't married at the time. She was just like, he just basically fucked off. He was about to leave. And she was like, we're gonna go meet him. So she just like runs up to him. She was like, Superhands, and he was like, oh god, like let's get a selfie then. And he was just like, oh, fuck off. But man, I think they're just all amazing in that show, man. Just like it's just such a good like contrast between like Jez and Mark. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so spot on, like their internal thoughts and stuff. You just think. Sometimes I'm a little bit Mark, sometimes I'm a little bit Jez. Do you know what I mean? It's just so well done.
Like it, is there? There's nothing like it. Do you hear? There's a People Just Do Nothing film coming out soon.
What?
Filmed in like Tokyo or something like that.
Yeah. I think the story is that one of their tracks went like viral in Tokyo, or I think it's Tokyo, and I think Grindr like sees it and then decided to go to Tokyo. I don't know what the rest of it is, but yeah, they've have stardom in like a random Asian country.
I'm down for that. I love people just doing nothing. Like, I remember I was in college, and this is before they did it on BBC. They just did it on their own platform on YouTube.
Wasteman TV, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I remember my college teacher being like, "Yo, you guys need to check this out." And we watched it after class, and he was like, "Yeah, watch this." We were doing music tech, and he was like, just basically like an older version of us then, and he was showing us people just do nothing, and I was hooked, man. And then when it came out on BBC, I was like, "This is sick." And they've got like some good attention, and they've killed it. Do you know what I mean? I love seeing shit that I like develop to the point.
Yeah.
You know, like when it gets to like actual, not just like they're big within this niche thing. It's like they've actually smashed it. I love
man.
that.
Same, man. It's sick because I remember like back, you know, all the kind of don't flop rap battles and stuff. You'd always see like fucking Asim Chowdhury and like Seeper and that lot just in the background watching, just like you know, you can just spot them in every rap battle. They were there just in the back watching, like fans of the scene and stuff. And
exactly. That's it.
Do you know what I mean? It's mad, and seeing like how well they've done, man. It's like Rag and Bone Man as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like coming up through kind of Brighton and whatnot, and then just, you know, he's a global superstar now. It's madness. Do you know what I mean?
Again, with Rag and Bone Man, it's like going to Slip Jam open mic nights, and before it was like he was kind of like blown up really, and just seeing that kind of, again, it's just the humbleness and the, you know, someone being authentic and true to like, you know, I think it's easier. Like I can imagine if I was like given a lot of kind of limelight, like so many people do go a bit, you know, it fucks them up a bit. Like, I can imagine me being that kind of, I don't know, but it's nice to see people that remain kind of humble and you kind of appreciate them even more for that kind of side of it.
Nice one, man.
Yeah, man.
So before we like wrap things up, man, is there anyone you want to shout out? Is there anything you want to plug, or anything you want to talk about?
Fucking hell, shouting out people is long. Like there's so many people. Go check out YogoCop Records. Go check out Compound. Go check out Group Bacil. Listen to people like Verbz, Mr. Slips, Illiterate, Benaddict. Too many people. Go check out Fiction. They're fucking sick. Brighton lot, killing it. Too many people to shout out. But
you say Brighton's got quite a healthy hip hop scene, hasn't it? Or music scene in general.
Yeah, man. Definitely got a healthy music scene. 100%. There's a lot of fucking talented, good musicians and rappers and singers, and it's a good place to do music. 100%. You got to be careful. If you ask me a question, I can waffle on for a long time. If you're trying to wrap this up, then
shut up, Aidan. No, I'm joking, man. No, it's been a pleasure, man. Honestly, it's like, I mean, we've got nowhere to go. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
yeah. I don't know if you've got a thing of like, you know, you keep your podcast to a certain length. I imagine, you know, you've got a guideline of like, right, how long have we been speaking for?
Aidan?
Just over an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. What's the longest podcast you've done? And I'm not making this one the longest, by the way.
1 hour and 16 minutes. No, man. I don't know. Probably like.
I think we've gone. We normally go. Sometimes it's between like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I mean, like the way this started off, right, was we'd literally just sit and just chat shit for basically until we just had nothing to talk about anymore, and then it got to the point where we were filming it, and because I do all the video editing for it.
Okay.
I then turned around and was like, "No, we can't do it that long anymore because then it's just long for me to edit it. I can't be forced to like sit around for that. Like editing like a 30-second clip takes about like me anyway, like 2 or 3 minutes. So like you times that by X amount of like footage. Yeah. It's fucking long, isn't it? But yeah, man, we go to anywhere between like hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, man. I think it's just like.
I'm not suggesting that. We should do that. I'm just saying,
do you listen to podcasts generally, man? Like,
I don't listen to it consistently. I've listened to certain episodes. You know
not our podcast, but like generally, do you listen to podcasts? Like so like, because when I'm listening to a podcast, like it depends. Like if it's like 2 hours long, I'll be like put off by it a bit. Do you know what I mean? I'll be like, or I'll just go back to it, or I'll like listen to it in like bits and bobs, but I won't sit down, because no one's got time just to sit down and listen to a 2-hour podcast.
Like Joe Rogan podcast, man. Like his podcast can go on between like 2.5 to 3 hours, man. And it's like, how can anyone say that focus for that long on one topic? And it's literally 2 people talking, man.
Yeah, that's mad.
Exactly, man. So on that note, shall we wrap things up, people? But enough said, man. Thank you for joining us on the podcast, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Where can people find your music, and where can people find you on socials?
Shout me on just NuphZed on Instagram. Spotify. I haven't been too busy with SoundCloud and stuff, but you know the new stuff will be out on SoundCloud and all kind of streaming platforms. But yeah, check out my Instagram account. You can follow me there and keep up to date with shit that's coming. There's a lot of music to be coming soon, so yeah, just follow me on that, and that's probably the best bet, really. Spotify and Instagram for now, and obviously go buy the fucking vinyl as well, because like we said, you want to have that physical. You want to hold something in this, in this digital world. So yeah,
you do want to check this out, man. Fickle Affection out everywhere as of now. NuphZed, man, been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, man. With Shotgun the Orcs at Shotgun the Orcs, all platforms. This will drop on YouTube and all digital platforms as well. Yeah, man. Appreciate you joining. Stay safe, stay sane.
When
everyone listening.
When this is all over, and obviously you put out some more of your music, you'll have to come down to Bournemouth.
Yeah, man.
Proper like face-to-face podcast.
100%.
We'll do it properly, man. We'll do it properly.
Yeah,
take care of yourself,
cool.
man.
Thank you very much, man.
Bless you guys. Thanks for having me.
Easy.
Peace.
In a bit, bro.